tried to learn a little about how each state got its name. And I could be completely wrong. So feel free in the comments to give a more accurate answer. I'm going to do it briefly and not go into a lot of detail because it's a lot of states. So I just tried to look it up on Google the way anyone would. And I thought we could just do that for fun. So, where do we begin? Do we try to do this in an alphabetical order? That could be hard. I'd have to think on that. Well, I don't know. We'll just start and see where it goes. Alphabetically, number 1 would be Alabama. And Alabama comes from a Choctaw word for tribal town. Tribal town. Alaska comes from Aleut word, which I think is the native people. That's what's interesting. How many of these come from native people's words, which is pretty cool and just shows how varied the United States is. But Alaska comes from, and I could say any of these native tribal names wrong or their words because I'm not that familiar with all of them. There's so many. But Aleut for great land. And when I was in Alaska, I was told it was originally pronounced something like Alashkak. What a beautiful, beautiful state. And I only saw the tiniest bit of it. Alright, we're just going to outline this part because we can't take too long, can we? Arizona. Oops. I have extra pens in case this one decides it's out of ink. I read that Arizona, it's a little bit unclear, and I lived there for many years, and I didn't really know the answer. But they think it's likely Basque or Native American for small spring. Small spring. There we go. Alabama, Arizona, Alaska, Arkansas. Here it is. Arkansas is from a Quapaw. Is that the name of the tribe? Quapaw word meaning south wind. So far haven't all of these been from Native American words, right? So that's kind of neat. Next comes the big state of California. This one was kind of interesting. Apparently the conquistadors from Spain, I guess, they named it after was pronounced like slightly different, but it was California. Arizona, California, Colorado, beautiful, beautiful Colorado. Colorado is named after a Spanish word for colored red, which has to do with the red sediment in the Colorado River. Oh, where are you? Where are you, Connecticut? Connecticut comes from an Algonquin. I think I'm saying that right. I'm not sure. It's going to come up again. And it said Mohegan, Pequot for long tidal river. I had to write those two words down because I wasn't familiar. That's Connecticut. Delaware. Oh boy, Delaware, here we go. Little Delaware. Oh man, my pen. Are you working, pen? I guess that doesn't work. So it was named after the Lord de War. Lord de War, Delaware. He was a Virginia governor. That's what I read. I don't know. Why? I don't know. But, okay. Okay, Florida. Florida is where Disney World is. Alligators. And this coastline right here has pretty beaches all in here. All over Florida. And it was sort of based on a Spanish word because Ponce de Leon was, the explorer who landed there. He was Spanish. And I guess he called it Florida, meaning flowery or feast of flowers. Feast of flowers. It's pretty, isn't it? Georgia, named after King George. King George II of England. Where's Hawaii? Hawaii has a very interesting history. And when I was there, I learned quite a bit about it. My son went to college for a while there. And it's very interesting. And I'm not sure I will say this word correctly, but apparently it was named after a Hawaiian word. Hawaii, meaning homeland. And the Polynesian tribes who first, they'd take these long canoes and go to Hawaii, and I think it was like a sacred land, homeland. So, yeah. Idaho, where are you, Idaho? Okay. Oh, sorry, I swallowed. It was so hard. Idaho's an interesting one because it seems that I think it was a governor of Idaho way back. I think that's right. He said it was a Native American word, but it later turned out that that was false, and that said it was a Shoshone word for gem of mountains, but I don't think that was at all true. But the name stuck, and so it's Idaho. That's what I read. Illinois. Oh boy, this is a tough one to trace. It's got a lot of nooks and crannies here, doesn't it? Illinois is Algonquin. Algonquin. I hope I'm saying that correctly because it comes up, which is Native American. Excuse me, I have to clear my throat. Tribe of Superior Men. Illinois. That's kind of cool. Indiana. Is Latin for land of Indians. Land of Indians. Look, all the I states are right here, isn't that weird? Iowa. Oops, I can't get a straight line. Is named after the Iowa people. Iowa people. That's what I read. Okay, next. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K. Next we have Kansas. Kansas is named after the Kansas tribe. And the meaning of it is people of the south wind. Isn't that beautiful? I love that. People of the south wind. Kentucky. I did a video on a trip to Kentucky, if you're interested. It's called something like Red River Gorge, I think. Kentucky is Iroquoian, from the Iroquois Indians, for meadow or prairie. Iroquoian. Maybe that's how you say that. Louisiana. Is named after King Louis. King Louis the 14th of France. And even today you can find a lot of French speaking people in Louisiana. It's got a very Frenchy culture. So next is Maine. I had some trouble with Maine. It doesn't seem like people are exactly sure how the name Maine got to be, but it's possibly named after the French province of Maine. If you're from there and know more, feel free to share. I don't know if that was right. I can't see very well. It feels like I cut off something there, but I'm sure it's fine. Okay. Maryland. I lived here for a while in Maryland. Hold on. Let me get this little bit because it's funny. It goes right up there. Whew. Okay, Maryland was named after Queen Henrietta Maria of England. I think she was the wife of a, king, so she was like a queen. What do they call that? Queen consort or something. There's a bunch of river in here. Not river, but Okay. Massachusetts. I hope I don't leave any state off because remember I did that before I got in trouble. People were really mad. It's Ojibwa. I think that's how you say that, for large water or Great Lake. And it is named after this lake right here. They had called it Lake Michigan for large lake. And so the state was named after that word. Whoops. And that's the state of Michigan with its upper and lower peninsula. And I've done videos on both the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, which was, whoops, no, right there actually, and the Great Lakes. I think they're both, pretty interesting actually. I find them interesting. Alright, Minnesota comes from a Dakota Sioux word for cloudy water. And from what I read, the tribal, look at this little bit here, isn't that funny? The tribal word, it looked like from the spelling I saw that it would be pronounced Minnesota. So maybe the people there who get kind of teased for having an accent are just saying it like how the tribal word intended it to be spoken, Minnesota. Which also made me wonder if some of the accents up here are because of the native languages. That's one thing about accents. I love an accent because it speaks to where the person's from, and when they have interesting words, I find that so interesting, and I'm bothered when people make fun of accents because that's like who the person is. I don't know. I don't think that I have much of an accent, but maybe I do. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Alright. I gotta wipe my nose real quick. Okay. Next up, Mississippi. Mississippi, I think, from what I read, came from how do you say it? Ojibwa word for great river, the Mississippi River. And the word was very similar to Mississippi. Love it. Okay, we need to find the great state of Missouri. It's right here. Oh, that's why I couldn't find it. It's already all colored in, basically. Alright, Missouri, blah blah, is named after the Missouri people. Is my pen dying on me? And the meaning is town of the large canoe. I might switch my pen out real quick. Don't worry, I have multiple. Okay, next, Montana. Montana is Spanish for the word mountain. Oh, what a beautiful state that is. Nebraska comes from their native people, the Oto, and means flat water. And that has to do with the Platte River right here. Is that how you say that? Platte? Platte, I guess. and named them after the places they were from. So we have New Jersey, which was named after Jersey in England. New York is named after the Duke of York. Well, it's named after York, I guess, but the Duke of York. I don't know. We missed New Mexico. New Mexico. I mean, I didn't miss it. I just did that one because we were right there. Okay, New Mexico. Well, it's like Spanish. I mean, it's for the new place of Mexicans. New Mexico. I think that's right. North Carolina is named after King Charles I of England, who apparently went by Carolus. Carolus. I wrote that down, that word, Carolus, so I don't know. That was his other name, I guess, so they named it North Carolina. And then, well, I guess I'll wait. I'll do them. I've been doing them alphabetical, so let's keep going with that. Okay. North Dakota was named after the Dakota Sioux tribe. Whoops. I didn't do a great job, but I guess it's okay. Ohio comes from the Iroquois word for great river because of the Ohio River raging through there. Okay, next up is Oklahoma, which is a word that comes from the Choctaw Indian, Native American, who, it was a word for red people. That's what I read. Oregon. Where are you, buddy? Up here. This one, it seems a little uncertain. It might be French or Algonquin. Algonquin. For storm. I'm not sure, to be honest. If you know that one. I don't know, French, I'm not sure. It seems like it could be French. Alright, Pennsylvania is Latin for pens, woods. I think he was a Lord Penn, or sir, anyway, was a Quaker and was setting up Pennsylvania for the Quakers. And so they named it after William Penn, that was his name. Penn's Woods. Anyway, okay, so that's where Pennsylvania comes from. Rhode Island. It's a little baby one up here. Apparently could be, they're not sure, named after the Isle of Rhodes, which was Dutch for Red Island. South Carolina, also named after King Charles. They just had North and South. The first of England. South Dakota. Same as North, it's named after the Sioux Dakota tribe there. Tennessee. I was at the Tennessee State Museum and learned about this. It is named after a Cherokee village was I forget if it was like a meeting place or a religious place, but Tennessee, and then they called it Tennessee. So that was interesting. Alright, the giant big state of Texas. So I read a couple of things, but it seems that it's a word, a caddo, C-A-D-D-O word for friends or allies. Right here, buddy. Okay. And the Spanish would call the caddos teos. Teos, which is where Texas came from, maybe, if I was understanding what I was reading. Okay, what's next? We didn't do Utah, even though it's almost completely done. It is named after the, how do you say it? Ute, U-T-E, the Ute, maybe it's the Ute or the Ute, I'm not sure, tribe, and that's where Utah, meaning people of the mountains. I think it might be Ute. I'm not exactly sure. I feel like that's a thing I knew, and I've kind of forgotten. Okay, what are we at? We're at A, B, T, U, V, Vermont. Vermont. You're right here, buddy. Where are you? Here we go. Vermont. Oof, I cut off part of Vermont here. Is it's French. It's a French word for green mountain. Green mountain. I might go backpacking in Vermont soon. I'm not sure. Okay, Virginia is named after the Virgin Queen. Virginia, the Virgin Queen. Queen Elizabeth the First. Virginia. Okay, Washington. Seems like it's probably named after George Washington. And I think it is. There are all these little islands, but okay. West Virginia. We did a video on West Virginia. It is also named after the Virgin Queen because it's split from Virginia. So right here is West Virginia. It's all outlined because we've done all of its surrounding states. Alright, we are up to Wisconsin. I believe it's from how do you say it? Hold on, let me think. Ojibwa word for river running through a red place. Ojibwa. I'm afraid I'm saying it wrong. I don't want to. Or I also read it might mean gathering of the waters. Either way, it's kind of a cool sounding word, Wisconsin. Alright, the only one we're missing, guys, is Wyoming. And we've already completely surrounded it. But it is Algonquin for at the Big Plains or Big River Flat. So there we have it. I think we got them all. Didn't we? So please, if you have any information that you thought, oh, well, that wasn't quite right, don't be mad at me. me just say it nicely. Because we all like to share information